Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, yes, I'm camping again. Yes, it's not really the nicest day outside, but I would say it's a nice day outside. I mean, the weather isn't too cold here, the air is nice and fresh. And I'm in front of Georgian Bay, which I'm actually wearing the correct hat for once. Anyways, we've got some news to talk about, so let's get into it. So first up on the docket, we're talking about Mario Kart World Tour. Now, we talked about this yesterday when the video went live on this channel, I think right around the time that the Mario Kart Direct actually happened. Anyways, the Mario Kart Direct World Tour was met with a lot of excitement, and in some areas met with not so much excitement, especially in the chat. So the live stream chats were reportedly flooded with comments of drop the price, all in capitals, and spammed by a whole bunch of people. It reportedly got so bad that in Europe they disabled the chat altogether. Yes, Nintendo, I guess, didn't like hearing drop the price. They didn't like hearing any of that feedback, and they just stopped the chat. But I think in America, the chat continued on, and well, a lot of people were saying drop the price. Overall though, for Mario Kart World Tour, a lot of people were very excited for what was showcased, except for, I guess, the price. The price of the game and the price of the Switch too. We'll have to wait and see here, but based on my experience, it's Nintendo's way or the highway. And continuing to talk about the Switch, next up here, we're talking about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch 2, the Switch 2 enhanced versions. And there's a disclaimer on the website over here in in Canada and in the US that some people have noticed, and it's getting talked about quite a bit. This information is coming directly from Nintendo's website, and at the time of filming it is still up. So here on The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Nintendo Switch 2 edition, at the bottom it says, "Please note, this software does not support the paid membership's Save Data Cloud backup feature." I'm not necessarily sure if this is going to be across the globe, but in Canada and the US here, it's popping up on the website. We're going to have to wait and see here if Nintendo actually changes the disclaimer on their website. I'm not certain on this one. On Reset Era, they've done some investigation. It's not showing up for other games, and they don't think that this is a mistake. And I wouldn't either. I mean, listing information for a game on your website, it would be a huge mistake if the game was compatible with cloud backup saves, and well, you listed that it wasn't. You'd think you'd want to get the listing correct, especially for a game as popular as something like Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. But I don't know here. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below, and whether or not you think this is a mistake or if Nintendo will add the feature later on. I think it's super disappointing at start if it's not going to be available. I mean, yes, you can transfer saves, but at the same time here, not having cloud save backup could be headache-inducing for some people. And speaking about headache-inducing, next up we're talking about gaming handhelds and, well, tariffs. Again, this is not a political channel, I'm just talking about facts that are out there in the public. And it seems that both Anbernic and Retroid are feeling the effects of tariffs. So if you are located in the US, getting your hands on a new gaming handheld may be a little bit of a headache. So this is the statement from Anbernic. Due to recent policy changes, shipments to the United States may soon be subject to high import tariffs. We kindly ask that you take this potential risk into consideration when placing your orders. To help you avoid additional costs, we strongly recommend choosing products shipped from our U.S. warehouse. Currently, items in our U.S. stock are not affected by import tariffs and can be purchased with confidence. So based on this, there are two important things to note. One, if you are ordering an Anbernic device not from the US and importing it and the tariffs go into effect, the customer is paying the tariffs, Anbernic is not. The customer is the importer of the goods. Secondly, here, if you're ordering it in the US, check to see if you can order it from the US stock and you can avoid all headache. The big problem I see here is that if tariffs are applied and in effect for a while, and stock dwindles in the US, it may be next to impossible to get your hands on an Anbernic device without paying a high tariff if they ship to the US. Now, the big reason here I say is if you are in the US and looking at Retroid, and if you pre-ordered a Retroid Pocket Classic in certain colorways, you may have to reorder. So this is right from Retroid Pocket. So here's what they say. As you may know, there are some challenges we are facing for our US customers. All shipping agencies will not accept US bound packages from China starting April 25th. What does this mean? Suppliers are being overwhelmed with emergency orders from all businesses. As such, we will not be receiving our orders for the teal, kiwi, and berry shells prior to 4/25/25, April 25th. The SKUs are scheduled to begin shipping on April 28th. This means that US customers will not be able to receive their orders for these colorways, and that's teal, kiwi, and berry. So if you have ordered any of those colorways, Retroid says contact customer service and change your order ASAP. They know this may be disappointing news, but the restriction is beyond their control. But moving on, and next up we're talking about something that a lot of these handhelds use, and that's an emulator. We're talking about Nintendo 3DS emulation with Azahar. Almost every single video I get a comment saying it's pronounced Azahar. It's pronounced Azahar as per the developers, and I'm just honoring what they're trying to call the emulator here. It is pronounced Azahar. Anyways, here, Azahar, if you're on Linux, is now available on FlatHub, and I would say this is a huge win. Now, I know on Linux, some people have mixed feelings about FlatHub. I, for one, at this point in time at least, absolutely love it. I love the containerized approach. I love how easy it is to use and how everything just frickin' works. You don't have to tinker around, and uninstalling and removing stuff is very easy. Anyways, here, that's a topic for debate for another day. If you are on Linux, I do recommend picking up the FlatHub version, and Azahar recommends picking up the FlatHub version. And speaking about emulators, next up we're talking about Sega Model 3 emulation with Supermodel Dojo. Supermodel Dojo is a fork of Supermodel, and it's gained quite a bit of popularity lately. It's got a focus on netplay features, replay, and training options for competitive play. And if you are curious about this one, there's a brand new release. Apparently it performs pretty darn well. And Video Game Esoterica has you covered with a very detailed video about it. Now, for those who may be unaware, the person behind Supermodel Dojo is the exact same person behind Flycast Dojo, Blue Minder. Flycast Dojo is very well received. A lot of people love it, and I'm assuming that's going to be the exact same case for Supermodel Dojo. And speaking about people behind stuff, next up we're talking about the Playdate, and it's being reported here. If you've got a Playdate, you're probably going to be excited about this one. The team behind FTL and Into the Breach is making a Playdate game. Now, this was announced during a Playdate live stream, and if you are curious about it and wanted to check it out on your own, like everything we talk about, links are in the description below, right at the bottom. I don't hide my sources. Anyways, I think this is huge for the Playdate, and I think this will ignite even more excitement into the console. The console is, I would say it's very niche, but at the same time here, it just seems to keep on ticking, keep on giving people reasons to pick one up and try one out. And speaking about being excited for stuff, next up we're talking about a game a lot of people seem to be excited about, myself included, and that is Neon Abyss 2. Now, Neon Abyss 2 has not released just yet. However, we now have an early access date for it, and that is July 17th. Now, if you've never seen or heard of Neon Abyss before, I've talked about it on the channel, but we talk about a lot on this channel, so there's probably a huge chance you've missed it. Anyways, here, I do recommend giving it a look. It's a side-scroller roguelike action game, and it looks super cool. Unfortunately, I don't have any pricing details at the moment, but I'm assuming we're going to find out fairly soon, and if not soon, maybe in the next couple of months, which I guess arguably is also soon. On a side note here, Neon Abyss 2. I was saying Neon Abyss. I meant to say Neon Abyss 2. Anyways, here on a side note, Neon Abyss 2 also features 4-player online co-op. And last up here, we're talking about Star Wars Like a Pirate, Star Wars Outlaws, A Pirate's Fortune. Anyways, if you are curious about this game, if you're a fan of Star Wars Outlaws, you might be a fan of Star Wars Outlaws, A Pirate's Fortune, which was just revealed over on YouTube. So Star Wars Outlaws, A Pirate's Fortune launches on May 15th, and in Star Wars Outlaws, A Pirate's Fortune, you team up with Hondo. Now, taking a look at the comments, some people seem to be very excited, and some people are using this opportunity to crack a few jokes. For example, here, I love Star Wars Outlaws, and I'm tired of pretending I don't. My favorite, Pirate Hondo, finally coming to Outlaws. And if buying isn't owning, piracy isn't stealing, Pirate's Fortune. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff, unless you count the intro and outro. Unfortunately, I did not see any wild fluffs today. I held my hands out, there were no birds. It's a bit of a cool day today. It's very windy, and it's been raining on and off, so most of the birds are hidden away, tucked away in trees here, and I'm by the water. But it is an absolutely gorgeous view here. I'm not going to deny it whatsoever, and there's no snow on the ground where we're at right now. Anyways, we talked about a bunch today. Feel free to discuss anything we talked about in the comments below. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.